My dear friends, let's take tzedakah, give, put something into pushka, we do it together, and we will merit the blessings, the ultimate blessings, the blessing which is of the parsha of this week. Vayakel, and Moshe Rabbeinu gathered us. Now, I want to ask you a question. We do know that every single letter in the Torah is precise, to the point that Rabbi Akiva says that I can deduct mountains and mountains of halachas from one superfluous, seemingly superfluous letter Vav. Actually, in the parsha of this week, where the Torah says that you should not work on Shabbat, the fact that it's positioned within the discussion of the construction of the Mishkan, we know that all the major tasks necessary for the Mishkan, for the temple that is, are forbidden to do on Shabbat. The Torah does list all the prohibitions of Shabbat. We just know it simply by the fact where this law is placed. So here is my question. The Torah portion of Teruma, the Torah portion of the Tzaveh, where it is being discussed in detail, the construction of the Mishkan, all its aspects of it, the vessels, the utensils, the garments, the curtains. Every minute detail is discussed to the last point of how the Mishkan is supposed to be built. Who did it? Upon the inspiration of whom? Everything is there. Its size, its weight, and so on. Now comes the Parsha Vayakel, and here the Torah goes through again the whole story. And they did it like this and like this and like this and like this and like this. And they did the garments like this and like this and like this and like this. Basically repeating here what it said in the previous parshas. Why? Why can't the Torah just say, and they did it as they were told? They did it as according to plan. Why is it necessary a whole lengthy parsha basically repeating what has been said? Two answers. One is that it is so precious to God. The building, the construction of the Mishkan is so dear to God that God is willing to gush about it, so to say, to speak about it again. But here is a further thought. We're talking about the Mishkan. We learned in the pasuk, "V'asu leMikdash v'shachanti b'soicham," build for me a mikdash, a sanctuary, and I will dwell amongst you in plural. Says the Gemara, it doesn't say b'soichoi in singular, in it, but b'soicham in them, meaning b'soichol echad ve'echad. We are those sanctuaries of God. We are the ones who have to make from ourselves an abode, a dwelling place for God. We have to become the sanctuary. Says the Torah the following thing. There are plans, detailed plans. Every aspect of the Mishkan has its ramification, its manifestation in the human body, in the human psyche, in our lives. And the Torah goes through all those details of how they're supposed to do. So too, we in our lives, we make those plans. I'm going to make my intellectual aspect the Aron Kodesh, the Holy Ark. I'm committing myself to study extensively Torah. Service, the sacrifices. I'm willing to sacrifice of myself for God. I'm willing to give away from myself for God and for God's people. And so on, we make all those plans and the commitment to carry them out. But way too often, from planning, from commitment, from all the best of intentions, when it comes to carry them out, there is a gap. It doesn't always happen. Says the Torah, it is not enough just to have commitments. It's not enough to have the best of intentions if it's not tachlis, if it hasn't been carried out. So God says, I am willing to repeat an entire Torah section, Vayakil, and saying that all those commitments, all those plans were actually carried out. That's the Vayakil. That's the assembly. That's the gathering. Moshe Rabbeinu gathers all of us and says, Kinderlach, don't just commit. Do. Just do it. And then all those plans mean something. And therefore the Torah says, for this, I want to repeat it. So Eibishter, we also ask the same thing. Please, we know we have a plan of building the Beis HaMikdash. Just do it, and just do it now.